Don't you run away. Please stay.
Hello and welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. In tonight's video, I'm going to be doing a true crime and ASMR. So with that being said, let's begin with the video. June, born in 1948, and Tim Colt, born in 1943, were originally from New Zealand. June, who was the product of a brother-sister incest, married Tim in 1966. The couple had 7 children together: Martha, Frank, Paula, Jerry, Rhonda, Betty, and Charlie, before moving to Victoria in the 1970s. Tim Colt began to rape Betty when she was 12 years old. In 1997, Betty, wanting to know if June could donate a kidney to a granddaughter, found out that her mother, June, was inbreed. The family grew to nearly 40 members, ranging from grandparents to mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, aunts, uncles, nephews, brothers, and sisters, all engaging in various forms of incest. Many of the children suffered from deformities and medical problems. School attendance was transient and happened only when welfare officers visited the family and children needed remedial teaching once there. Some of the children tortured animals, mutilating their genitals as a pastime. Children and adults regularly engaged in sexual activities which conceived children, some with genetic deformities. Most of the children had fungal infections. In order to hide the pregnancies, the girls would sometimes miscarry on the farm, or fatherhood was attributed to outsiders from outside Australia coming to the country for work or tourism. There were incidents of the girls being tied to trees and raped by the boys. They had no access to running water, showers, toilets, or hygiene products. This case has been described by lead investigator Peter Yemons as like nothing I have ever seen, and was considered by many to be so shocking that in a rare move, this New South Wales Children's Court allowed full details to be made public, albeit with all the names changed for the children's protection, including the family name of Colt. After the death of June in 2001 and Tim in 2009, the family was led by Betty next year, police tracked the family down, and after obtaining an understanding of the living conditions in the family's encampment, put several children in foster care, including Bobby, Betty's son, with her younger brother, and Billy, Betty's son, with her older son. Police discovered the living area of 38 members of the family in the bush, living under squalid conditions in tents and shacks on the outskirts of Borwa. The family were charged with incest and child neglect. Betty Colt legally disputed the charges and attempted to regain custody. After tracking the cell phone activities of Betty, police discovered text messages of a sexual